Nice to have you back here at the Friday Front Bar at the All Nations Hotel. Thanks to the Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft. Sam and Mickey back in town. Nice to see you, mate.
Mickey is back, Andy. It's great to have you back. But I just wanted to start. The Friday Front Bar, much like the rest of the AFL community, is stopping to pay tribute to one of the most decorated AFL careers we've ever seen.
Mick Malthouse.
Colin Sylvia.
Okay.
He's
Kind of got lost.
He's to Colin.
Welcome back, mate.
Thank you.
It is nice to have you back.
It's good to be back. Mind you, it's not without incident. Did you see my arrival? I was harassed by a giant goose on the way in.
I can back you up, Mickey. Got it on this.
Give us a photo, mate. How about a photo? Come on, just one for the camera. What are you, tigers, big fella?
That was awkward. I'm assuming you wanted me to film that, not jump in.
You're a brave man, Sandy.
Hey, how was it, seriously? You're away, you went to Gallipoli for Anzac Day, the 100th anniversary of it all. What was it like?
It was brilliant. A special occasion, one I'll remember forever. Anzac Cove, wow, just a spin out. It was, seriously, a great life experience.
Mickey, you were there.
Yep.
We were back here, and on the telly, being beamed back from Gallipoli, there were some very moving and emotional scenes being beamed back. And I was... you were there. We were back here watching it on the footy, and the pictures back here were equally as powerful. That's what the Anzacs fought for, didn't they? They fought for a man's right to read the record and listen to headphones.
Unbelievable effort by Malthouse to do this.
715 games is a lot of games. That may seem an obvious statement, but I just wanted to point this out. I know. I wanted to say this. He did a magnificent job at Footscray.
He did.
Remember that team?
Yeah, I do.
I remember what he did at remember West Coast?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Premierships?
Chambray shirts.
I could have coached that side. I could have captain coached it.
You would have fitted in perfectly on and off the field in those days. Yeah.
You've got to say, he did a great job at Footscray, he did a great job at premierships at West Coast. That job he did at Collingwood, that's amazing. And if he is given more time at Carlton, why would you think that he wouldn't do the same thing? That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I like it. So you're a big...
I would give him.
Why don't you get a room?
I'll give him a 4-year deal, Mickey.
4-year deal.
The contribution the man's made...
He'll be 102.
The one thing he hasn't done is lose the fire in the belly. This was at half-time, St Kilda game last week. This is not the sign of a man who's had enough of the caper. I mean, have a look at him. He's going cocoa bananas.
It looks like he's actually saying what every Carlton supporter would like to say to Levi Casbolt.
It's like an intervention, isn't it?
Exactly.
But that's not the sign of a man who's run out of energy for the craft.
Not at all.
He's still 100% committed to making players better.
I saw the post-match press conference, and you get the impression the players have seen this before. Have a look at Murph's reaction.
A couple of little friendly reminders, I suppose, Murph.
Yeah, it was nice and friendly. It was good.
What's this move? It's like that painting.
Yeah, you know, I reckon you get a sense of the players.
The players love him.
The players still love this bloke.
But he's never lost the players in all the clubs he's been at. So he's lost the media a couple of times, but he's never lost the players.
We got a lot to thank him for. I mean, some of the images that he's given us over the years are fair income unforgettable. This is taking Coach's Box of Steering to a whole new level.
That is great.
And just when you think you've seen it all, 3 years later he reprised that moment. Have a look at him here after the point. Has any man ever given us more animated fury? He's the best at it.
I'm a huge fan of his behaviour. My favourite moment has to be the signing of Mickey Malthouse and the hoo-ha that went on. Have a look at this.
Is that Collingwood?
No expense spared. Have a look.
Hello. What's going to happen here? Like the Batmobile.
Who's pressing the buttons?
Who's in there, do you reckon?
It is like the Batmobile. There was Batman in the front and Alfred in the front. There were so many highlights of a magnificent career.
Yes. What's yours?
My highlight would actually probably be interviewing Mick
one-on-one
this week.
One-on-one?
One-on-one.
Wow.
Me and Mick just went for a little bit of a drive.
Hard-hitting?
I asked some hard questions. It's a question I've always wanted to ask, Mick. At school, were you the class clown?
No, far from it.
You're a brave man.
What is wrong with you?
Man, you're insane.
I'm filling in for open mic next week.
If anyone's got a breakdown record, who is it?
Well, probably, if you had to look at the current crop, you'd say Clarko, wouldn't you? I mean, he's 3 premierships in 9 years and he's of the right age and he'll probably coach forever if he wants to. There'll always be a job for him. But Here's the raw numbers, right? He has to coach 25 games a year. They mean make grand finals every year between now and 2034 to get to the number that Mickey's at now. And that's presuming Mick doesn't coach another game. So when you just look at the actual basic bottom line raw numbers, it's a phenomenal record.
Sure.
An absolutely unbelievable record.
Clarko may seem to be the only one who could catch him at the moment, but there are other names that I haven't given up on.
Well, like who?
Mark Neild.
It's a great achievement. Acknowledged. But have we gone overboard? We've seen this week on days that have been 8 pages, 9 pages. Is the record itself just the number of games that's significant? Like Jock McCall, how many premierships did he win?
Oh, God. And all up 9, wasn't it, as
9?
player and coach? Was it 9?
So it's the same amount of games. Is that the achievement? It's like, well, I've got a racehorse that's about to equal Black Caviar's record of 23 races. Hasn't won any. But
No.
it's got 23 races.
Yeah, you're just dirtying up because Richmond, you see this as another one that got off the leash at Tigerland. In 1983, they offered him the senior job and then they took it back off him because they didn't want to replace Francis Burke with another player. So a couple of days later, they go, we can't give you the senior job, so here's the job for the Rezzies. A day later, they ring and say, you know, we offered you the job for the Rezzies. You can't have that now because we think you're a bit too ambitious, so we can't have you seeming to be knifing whoever we appoint for the senior job. You're just filthy that this was your Kevin Sheedy moment.
We stand by that decision. No one comes back to Richmond. Malthouse didn't, Sheedy didn't. Oh, actually, Sheedy did used to come back. You know when he'd come back? When he's renegotiating his contract with Essendon. Everyone used to say, look out, it's contract time. He'd turn up at the President's lunch and order a meal. Still can't believe you caught up with Mick Malthouse.
Yeah, one-on-one. We did like half an hour and had a great chat. So many questions to ask. And actually, I will be honest, Mickey, it wasn't all smooth sailing.
And... Sorry. This bothered me.
Massive round of footy to look forward to. Kicks off into beauty on Friday night.
Can't wait.
Carlton Collingwood. Yeah. Carlton's still yet to win in the country.
Saturday night's going to be... Last Saturday night was a cracker. Let's hope this Saturday night's half as good. North Hawthorn should be a beauty and find out a bit about the Giants this week, see how good they actually are.
Yep.
Richmond v Geelong. Mickey, this brings back some good memories for you.
They have terrorised us for 20 years. I think I can remember 2 wins. I remember once I wanted to go to Cardinia Park to see Richmond play Geelong because I had a good feeling about this. But I had to go to the Logies and I was so dark. Anyway, we were inside the room and I got the scores at half time. You remember what they were?
Yeah, 107 points up, Geelong.
Yep. I've never been so happy to be at the Logies. So anyway, look, I'll be there.
Are you
watching.
going?
Well, I'm going to try and go, but I have a feeling I'm going to be hearing a fair bit of this. Haunting me. Did you hear that, or was that in my head?
Another one of the other great games around is going to be Sydney v the Western Bulldogs. Bullies are on the up.
And a good chance for bonding between Dogs fans, like a dad and a daughter, for instance. This is the type of stuff which... have a look at that. That's a bonding exercise.
The game I'm actually looking forward to is Melbourne taking on Fremantle. Both teams in pretty good form. Of course, they're playing for the Colin Sylvia Cup. Actually, it's not a cup; it's a stubby holder. But he's going to be missed by the Peel Thunder.
I heard he's going to do a lap of honour before the game. I hope he's not running it. The game will be 3 hours late. Crack a stitch 3 times.
St Kilda Essendon. Who knows? The Saints were pretty disappointing after quarter time, or halfway through their second quarter last week. The Bombers were flat against Collingwood.
Who wins?
Essendon should win. You'd be disappointed if you're an Essendon supporter didn't win the game. But the big news this week for St Kilda is that it looks like they are. Well, they are. They're going to be heading back to Moorabbin now.
That's definitely.
It's definitely happening. Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't they? That is their spiritual home. That's where they won all their wooden spoons. You know what I mean? So it's nice to just go back to a familiar place, that comforting place.
How quickly do you reckon they'll get out of there? It'll be like the evacuation of Saigon, I reckon. Okay? Like getting our troops out of Afghanistan. Everybody, out.
Round finishes, of course, with the showdown. Adelaide taking on Port Adelaide. But Phil Walsh is a bit old school, isn't he? Like, he took they're 3-0, they're on top of the ladder, flying. They lose a game. You know what he said? Righto, 5 o'clock, down to the bay, black, dark, midnight, we're taking you down there. Here, this is how he reacts to one
What
loss.
did he do to them?
Phil Walsh is old school. I think he even, when he gets the boys to go to the gym, he gets those things when you do that. You know, he's old school.
Ball work.
Yeah, work out.
You know what they're called?
Oh, yeah, I've got one of those.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever touch me like that again, I guarantee you it'll be the last thing you do.
Yeah.
That was
Damn,
inappropriate.
I should have filmed that. No, that reminds me, actually. I was watching...
What?
It reminds me of another movie I saw, but that reminds me of Philip Walsh. I was watching in the box last week. Things not going well.
Yeah.
I've noticed when things don't go well with Philip Walsh, he does this. Yeah, that's what he does when things aren't going well.
Right. So how we travelling?
I don't think it's been that bad, but I tell you what.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do I have to stop now? Or?
Oh, that's it, boys.
thank
Friday
you.
comes to an end.
Welcome back, Mickey.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Yeah, good to have
Pleasure
you
to
back,
be
mate.
here.
We'll
Missed
be
you
here to
guys.
do it all again next week. Make sure you are as well. At the All Nations Hotel, thanks
Yep.
to Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft. Have a great weekend.
Cheers.
Guys.